do ours. Okay, we're back in our budget proceedings, and the next department to discuss is the commission department. We have our budget turned in with some changes. I would note there are several, I guess you would say, asks on here. They're actually all related, and they're all on here because they need to be, so we could have a discussion as we try to determine what the best thing is to do. So we're not actually, for perfect clarification, not actually asking for all of these things or positions. They just all needed to be listed.
But our
So-
budget that we went this year is actually a deduction from 100,000 because of the provide sheet. So for
Right.
that,
So
Correct.
That one, and then the other one was just a $200 increase.
yeah,
That we had some conflict.
your mic's off.
Oh.
There
We
you
had, we had some conflict with our United Dave Caring that,
Right.
that's just bumping that back.
Make
up
sure
to-
we can fix
That's
it.
up to 500 to do projects.
To do projects. Everything else is pretty consistent.
Yep.
I would anticipate, I think probably the biggest question then would be, and I believe we can discuss it now, we couldn't make a formal decision. If there's one of these that we would like to pursue, so that when we put the tentative budget together, it can be identified on the fair.
Right. As I've been working down through it, I would like to possibly pursue where we request the UVCVB to increase their management of this, of the fair itself, instead of having a, kind of a pass-through, but have an active management process with them. But with a caveat that we take over and put out probably for an RFP of some sort for all of the media, social media,
Marketing.
marketing.
Okay.
So that the county takes control of that. Now, we'd have an influence, but we wouldn't have control over what goes on with the CVB with the fair, because we'd probably want to request that we have some sort of influence in there.
Well,
but
my
they
guess
would-
is with our partners CVB, I doubt they would ever exclude the commission from the county fair.
So basically, they would be doing the director, the
Yeah.
day-to-day management,
Right.
et cetera, and our role would be direction and then,
Our role's marketing and making
Marketing.
sure it's funded and done the way that the commission wants it.
and my personal preference was to do a 501c3 and just have the county not have to do it.
Which they are a 501c3.
They are that, so that kind of gets us to
That's
that
why I
to
was
some
kind of
degree.
thinking that, it's already set up, it's already in
Already there.
place. We might have to do a little bit of
We'd have to do a new
negotiating with
contract and
them, maybe a
negotiation.
little arm twisting, but I think we could get there.
Then I would be fine.
So the question is
Agree
though,
with
I think we need to have a discussion on this amount because all of these requests are similar. Well, they're all actually the same function of what we're trying to do,
Very similar functions.
but they range in a wide variety of monies. And when we had the RFP discussion, that list, and although it wasn't completed, to me, could have raised, or could have cost $150,000, potentially even, right? So we might want to set aside, even though we've saved that $100,000, we might want to put that as a placeholder, as potentially $100,000 till we have that conversation and figure out how that management looks like. Because
So
again, if
instead
there's a
of the
marketing,
50, 100?
yes, because that would also
That
take
makes
into
sense.
account some
So
of the
we just-
marketing and,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we set the 100 aside, we could do the marketing, we could do the contract renegotiation and have the money.
Right.
I'm good with that. You
Okay.
guys got that?
Well, I just want to clarify because the savings, the 100,000 savings was from the TRCC fund. And the Utah County Fair is from the general fund.
Well, no, because to go through the CVB, the fair and everything, we would then potentially have them go apply and go through the TRCC if possible.
The attorneys told us we can't do that.
Yeah, there's been,
Well, their management and cost for the marketing could.
The marketing could, yes, but I don't, because if we're drawing outside, possibly, I don't know.
yeah,
well, there's some
that
questions
need
on
to
it.
be,
Okay, so,
go through legal.
Well,
So
the
we'll need to go
100,000 is
through
the
legal.
number. You
For the
make sure
budget.
we do it legally
Right, yeah.
for the showing
My
purposes.
intent and purpose would be that'd be in the general fund.
okay, and that's fine, that's,
Right.
but that
See,
gives
because the
you
question
direction on
is
where we
if the
wanna go.
CVB has to hire an additional person, for example, see, now it's bordering, now it's back out of that TRCC fund. But if they do it contractually,
Then
then
it'd be
it's
general.
not,
Right,
right?
Right?
yeah,
Okay,
Right, okay.
right. Alls I know is if the time is spent for the fair, I mean, how they do their accounting is up to them.
Mhm.
But for us, again, this is what was said in the past, and if that's not true still, then the attorney's office would need to sign off on that. But they said that the fair is primarily for the benefit of the county residents. And so even though there may be people who come from out of town, or there's visitors to the county for tourism promotion,
Mhm.
that's not what the main purpose is, since it is for county residents.
We just need to classify it as cultural art.
that was exactly what I was just gonna say,
So,
which it is.
I've seen some good.
With the
showing
way
there.
the city's designed the new livestock that we've instituted the last couple of years, it is absolutely a culturally art event.
yeah. So,
And the paint jobs on the derby.
but for my purposes, I understand what you're saying about the 100,000
Okay.
and where it needs to be in the budget for
So-
what I understand right now.
And I think we understand the nuances
Right.
of,
And there was money already in for the fair, so I don't think it's
Yeah,
necessarily
but this would be an
100.
additional,
So you're talking
because
100,000.
we know that the fair still costs us $200,000. Anticipated, I should say.
Okay, so you have $100,000 for the Convention and Visitors Bureau to operate it if they
Well,
accept doing that,
w-
plus 100,000 for operation.
no.
No.
We're saying 200,000 still for the fair. Leave that alone. What we're saying is we need a placeholder for $100,000 that handles the management and then also the marketing side. How we figure you're gonna split that up, that's the placeholder.
that'll be, the
Okay.
placeholder's $100,000 for fair management / marketing.
All right,
This how,
Wait.
right?
Right, but I heard two different things. I'm hearing $200,000 and
The fair.
$100,000.
200,000 for the fair,
Total?
and then $300,000 total.
What? No,
I think we're
What do we-
only like 100 for the fair. And it would
Okay,
be,
whatever the number was for the fair,
Yeah.
that's not
I
changing.
think it was like 125,000.
Yeah, whatever that number is. I
That's
thought
what
it
it
was
was.
200.
it's, by the time you add the pageants in, it's like 120 something.
Yeah, so
It's
whatever that
92.
number was for the fair,
Ninety-
it's
Whatever
Whatever it
unchanged.
is, that
Yeah.
number.
It's
stays the-
unchanged.
Yeah,
Ni-
you
92.5 for the fair,
plus 100.
100,000 for
Yes.
management /
There we go.
marketing.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
that number was,
Yeah.
it was an unchanged.
Because we also have, well, I don't know.
It's an unchanged, so does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. And we don't have any other changes on ours.
Could I ask just a clarifying question
You
too?
can.
Because I saw some mention of the PIO, which that is a separate line item in the budget. You aren't,
Well,
that's
that
not.
comes under that marketing. Well, that's why I say it's a discussion.
So there may be a savings in that account that
Potentially.
could go towards that 100,000. Also, one of the things that we talked about in the meeting on Tuesday with the public defender is that there's a case that has to go to conflict counsel, and that there was maybe $10,000 that was going to be spent this year, but the estimate for how much that was going to be needed for the conflict counsel was $100,000, and I didn't see that $100,000 in this request, so I just want to make sure that's also
Then we'll have to make that
addressed.
adjustment.
Yeah, because it's in the 100-41550-3100, and there's only $10,000 for conflict services.
Yeah, we know we have to do that, so we probably better put it in there.
See, that's how we get to 200,000.
Yeah.
If you have no more questions, Deneen, we'll quit spending money.
Are we gonna,
Well,
well,
just trying to get it accurate.
I know, I'm just teasing.
I was, you know what, every year we usually go down through, and I know we're taking out the Provo iSheet thing, that one's back to 50.
Mhm.
The grants, the, our UAC dues are in here, right? I can't see them right away.
168, it's on the
Okay.
page 2 of 4,
Or,
literally the middle.
Now, there's been a lot of discussion, we've had discussions with department heads about that as well.
But see, that money could be moved and either saved or, you know.
That's just, yeah, it's there. Was there anything on here that we wanted to move out, like we've already in the past moved out some of the,
Actually, you know what?
fees?
Your year-end employee recognition dinner, I think we spent 20, not 15. Traditionally, I think that's what we spent. Well, let me rephrase. Traditionally, that's what we've budgeted. What we've spent is probably less, obviously.
So, 2017 was $11,947.
Never mind, 15 works.
2018 was, or sorry, we're in 2018, we haven't done it yet. 2016 was 18,241.
Yeah, but I think 15 is going to be fine.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to ask a question just on Chamber of Commerce dues. We only seem to support one. And there's multiple chambers of commerce in our valley. Conversation on those, I'm wondering a little bit there. I mean,
So,
we support one pretty heavily because they're also subsidized here.
well,
in
and so
our
that's my
offices.
question to you is since they've all unified and there's going to be that new, I don't want to call it legislative,
It's a
you know what I mean?
caucus.
Yeah, that caucus. Is there a way that they can, or are they looking for financial monies in that where you're now all unified? Because I know that's early in the process, but they're all members of that too.
The other one that, anyway, that could probably be, anyway, we only have $3,000 in that account, and maybe that's appropriate if we decided we wanna do something different there. The other one comes with,
Did we pay also 44,000 for county seat this last year? I thought we did half.
no, 22, I think.
Yeah. So we can reduce that one too.
Does it say 44?
Yeah.
mhm.
Which,
They're
because that's what
asking-
we did in 17.
They're
Right.
asking for the full, yeah. but we
Yeah, I
only
know they're
paid-
asking, but
We only paid 22. That one's under pretty high scrutiny right now.
whether we should even do 22.
Well, there's a lot of counties that are bailing out because they're trying to find the return, and they're trying, I had,
Well, we've questioned that for years.
and so, yeah, I would prefer just to hold
As at 22.
at 22 for this year.
Right. I just was remarking that we lowered it last year, so we
We
should
did.
match it unless we wanted to increase it.
So that needs to be decreased. You're gonna decrease that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any others that were on there? I think the Jordan Rivers, we have that one off, right?
Yep.
Was that a 2017? I just wanna make sure that it's off. Some of those that we've eliminated. The bookmobile state contract is high.
Well,
It's supposed to be like 92, but
Right.
still.
I just noticed we have Tourism Advisory Board food and meals twice, one for 1,000, one for 900. We have to do them is it split TRT and TRCC? Okay. Never mind then.
Our courthouse renovation one always seems to stay the same. We never adjusted or know exactly what's going on with that, but
That's because that's been a placeholder just from TRCC that
Mhm.
has always kind of bothered me because we should either
24.
replace and fix the whole building for millions or quit slapping Band-Aids on it.
Yeah. Our telephone services, I think we've scrutinized that one pretty good over the years. Hopefully we got that one down. I mean, I know we were paying for some, but we never even used. Rentals. What's the Department of Ag Food contract?
So that's a contract with the state for the agriculture inspector, and the county pays the
Oh, okay,
full-time costs
okay,
of an
got it, yeah. I
admin.
was just missing that. Fair pageant scholarships, we adjusted those scholarships a
Mhm.
while ago. Outline section of code, I think it's. Well, I guess we can leave it in there, well, for the foster grandparents and the senior companions, there may be some combination there, I don't know if there's any savings in that, but.
No,
If they- 'cause they
actually,
they may only go with one director, depending on what, but I think the funding will still
which
stay
was the
same.
one, which one is she leaving?
Senior companions.
Okay. If I remember Ralph's budget right, he said it's probably gonna go up just a hair.
Okay. So we gotta take it,
So we'll probably just, well, and the CJC can go down. It's, sure, she's actually at like 152 or something. So that will go down a little bit. So again, there's,
yeah, so note that one,
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
okay.
Another one that I should mention, I mean, I don't think it requires a budget adjustment, but the UAC dues significantly
Increased,
increased for
yeah.
2019.
31,000 or 30-something thousand.
Yeah, that's why we've talked about,
37 to
we've talked about with elected officials and department heads, whether we should retain our membership, just attend conferences, hire lobbyists, whatever, everything's on the table on that one.
We, on that one, I have been talking with the next president, presumably. He's very concerned about that. I told him of our frustrations with it, especially with us going up 28% compared to everyone, most everyone else was at 22%. And we ran through some numbers with it. He would be willing, if we wanted to come back and say, we want to hold at this dollar amount, to keep us in. I'm sure that we could have those negotiations, so. But I think we should keep the number until we actually do that.
Yeah,
That'll
we
be
should
for you
keep
guys,
the
cause I
number.
hate UAC and think they're not good. So. Glad to never deal with them.
Do we pay for bottled water? I mean, we don't do.
We
the-
have- we
don't-
have that
We
machine.
don't do the bottle anymore. We always just do the,
We have that filter thing, but since
We
Larry
use
left,
that?
I don't know if we use it much.
I don't
Anybody
know that
use
it
that?
gets used much.
I never use it.
I never use it. Spring?
Spring?
Well, I actually think the system we have is cheaper than getting bottled water. The question is,
No one uses it. Well.
yeah,
$75 is all that is.
is it 75 annually?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danny, come on down. Oh, well, we can, unless you want us to talk to an attorney. Sure.
Huh?
Pause. Mics.